The ongoing pandemic has made sure of one thing, that is, looking back and remembering the past. All the fun that we had with our friends and family, all the places we visited, all the amazing food we had before the pandemic struck and ruined all of that. For many people in these difficult times, the memories they have made over time are one of the major parts of their coping mechanisms. But have you all ever wondered how are memories even formed? How are they stored? How are they recollected? Let's find out in this video. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post super interesting biology related videos every Tuesday. Also, press on the bell icon and switch on your notifications so that you don't miss our future videos. Subscribed? Great! Let's get started. First, as usual, let's see what is the definition of memories. Memory is defined as learning that has persisted over time, the information that has been stored and in many cases can be recalled, except of course during that one important exam. We've all been there, haven't we? Our memory makes us who we are, whether it is recognizing our loved ones, recalling all the fun that we've had in the past, or just remembering basic things like walking, talking, or even cooking. Memories are responsible for linking our past to our present, which is very important to look ahead to our future. But how do we form such unique and beautiful memories? Let's find out. But before we get into how memories are formed, I want you to think about that one memory you hold really close to your heart. Got it? For example, mine is that one time I was hanging out with all of my friends in the park after our college festivals. Those were the days, man. Now, I want you to try and remember what you ate a month ago. Do you remember? Unless you have an exceptional memory, I'm sure you might not exactly remember this detail, right? If you do remember, then please do comment below. But have you realized why is that so? Why do we remember some things but forget others? And how do memories fade away? To understand all of this, it is crucial to understand first how memories are formed. When you experience something, for example, let's say cooking a meal, the experience is converted into a pulse of electrical energy that travels along the vast networks of neurons. This information first ends up in the short-term memory where it is available for a few seconds to a few minutes. Then it is transferred to the long-term memory through areas such as the hippocampus and then finally to the various storage regions of the brain. Neurons all over our body communicate with the help of synapses using specific neurotransmitters. If two neurons communicate very often, then the efficiency of communication between them increases. This is called as long-term potentiation, and this is considered as the mechanism via which long-term memories are stored. But then why do some memories get lost? That's an interesting question, right? Well, of course, a huge factor is one's age. As we get older, our synapses become weaker, which affects the ease with which we can retrieve memories. Researchers have many theories regarding the reason behind this degradation. One of those theories is that the size of the brain shrinks as we increase in age, as some studies show that each decade, the hippocampus loses 5% of its neurons. Also, another theory states that there is a decrease in the production of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, which is very important for learning and memorizing. These changes also affect how people can retrieve the stored information. Age also affects one's memory-making ability. Memories are created when we are paying our utmost attention to something, when we are deeply engaged, and when the information is vital to us. Mental and physical problems that tend to increase as we age meddle with our ability to pay attention and thus prevent us from making that important information into memory. Another huge factor that prevents one from forming memories is chronic stress. When we are continuously overloaded with work and personal obligation, our body gets into a hyper alert mode. This is a response that has evolved from a physiological mechanism intended to make sure that we can survive in a crisis. Stress chemicals help mobilize energy and increase alertness. Though in chronic stress, our body gets overloaded with these stress chemicals, which results in the loss of brain cells and failure to form new ones, which affects our ability to retain new information. Apart from stress, depression is also another culprit. People who are depressed are 40% more likely to develop memory problems. Low levels of serotonin make a depressed person less attentive to new information. Isolation, which is another key symptom of depression, causes memory problems. A study performed by Harvard School of Public Health found that older people with high social integration had a slower rate of memory decline over 6 years. Although the exact reason remains unclear, experts suggest that social interaction is likely a workout for our brain. Just like our muscles, we need to keep interacting with people so that our brain remains. Now that we realize how memories are formed and lost, we need to now understand how do we retrieve memories. Our memories are usually accessed in 3 typical ways: through recall, recognition, and relearning. If you remember all the different tests that we had taken during our school days, you may notice that they are all designed in such a way that they size upon how one can access the information stored as memories. Recall can be defined as a measure of memory in which the person must retrieve the information learned earlier. For example, in a test, when the question asks you who is the present monarch of England, your brain would recall the answer as Queen Elizabeth II. Recognition, on the other hand, is a measure of memory in which the person needs to only identify the items previously learned, like in a multiple choice question. So, if we were to take the same example and the question asks who is the present monarch of England, and the options are Queen Elizabeth I, Queen Mary, and Queen Victoria, your brain would recognize and give the right answer, which is Queen Elizabeth II. Finally, relearning is defined as a measure of memory that assesses the amount of time saved when learning the material. Thus, it is like refreshing or reinforcing old information. So, when you're studying for an exam, you relearn things you forgot more easily compared to the other half of the things. Now that we've seen that memories are such an essential part of our lives, we also need to know how we can improve our memory. There are many ways via which you can improve your brain's ability to form and store memories. Some of them are: exercise. Make sure that you're always physically active. How does that help with memory, you ask? Well, when you exercise, there is an increased blood flow to your brain. Also, exercise helps in reducing stress, thus allowing you to concentrate more and hence forming memories. Second is eating healthy. Consuming healthy food is incredibly important as our brain needs various nutrients to keep functioning properly. According to a study done by Harvard Medical School, it is seen that what we consume might have an impact on our ability to remember and likelihood of developing dementia as we age. Food items that are said to promote brain health and memory include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, olive oil, etc. Third is doing mental workouts. Exposing your brain to new challenges like learning a language is one of the best methods used to keep one's memory intact. Some other mental workouts that you can do are jigsaw puzzle, learning a new skill, learning an instrument. The sky is the limit. You can try anything you want. Memories are extremely powerful as they are constantly shaping and reshaping your brain, your life, and thus your identity. Our memories may haunt us or sustain us, but either way, they define us, and without them, we are left to wander alone in the dark. This is it for today. We hope you liked our video. If you did, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We post super interesting biology related videos every Tuesday. Also, comment below letting us know your thoughts on the video. We would love to know what you have to say about it. This is BioTimes signing out. We hope you have a great week ahead.